Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Julie Mann. I'm also known as the Habit Fixer, and I love helping women who want to regain their mojo and age well. And I do that through EFT, which is a really simple tapping technique, nutrition, skincare, and digital products. My guest today is the lovely Lisa Richardson. And if you don't already know her, she is a partnerships and webinar broker. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, Julie. Thank you very much for having me.
It's great to have you here. And I know you're going to be talking about 3 habits for successful collaborations, aren't you?
That's right. Yes.
Brilliant. So over to you.
All right. I'll take it away. Okay. So 3 really important habits here, I think, if you're going to either get going in collaborations or partnerships, or if you're kind of starting out and thinking this is the route that you want to take in order to scale and grow your business. So first of all, building your email list, but not just thinking of, if I build my email list, that is the only thing to do which will lead to success. But building your email list consistently so that you build your following, but also building your following on social media, and also making sure that your following, whether it be through social media or your email list, is well engaged with what you're doing. So in other words, not just gathering people for the sake of gathering people, but actually making sure they really are your followers and they're interested in your offering and that you really know your audience. And I think you just need to make this as a kind of daily consistent habit, that you are building your business in this kind of way and thinking of engagement being key. Ultimately, if you're going to go into some kind of collaboration or partnership, you want to know your audience is going to turn up for you. Okay, so anyway, habit number 1, build your engagement through your email list and social media following, and hopefully that will also lead to a large following and a lot of people on your database. Habit number 2, just get used to being organized, and being organized with not just what you're doing day to day, but having a long-term plan, having medium-term plans, and having your daily and your weekly planning sorted out. Because when you go into partnerships and collaborations, it's not just your own personal organization. You suddenly got somebody relying on you. You are turning up for that other person, in effect, because you're forming a partnership. So to build trust, and building trust is key in a well functioning or highly functioning partnership. You need to be organized. So you need to understand your capacity. You need to understand how much you can take on every week. So it might be, for example, you think, well, I can take on 1 collaborative thing each week. It might be you're thinking, I can take on 1 per month, or maybe 1 per quarter. But just get practiced in being organized so that you understand what your capacity is and what you can build into your planning. When then people who partner with you or collaborate feel that you're confident with your organization, they'll trust you. You'll know that you'll feel that organizational approach with somebody else as well, and then you'll know you're both going to show up for each other. You're both going to go through the processes to make a successful partnership. Habit number 3, and that's working on communication skills. And again, that's something, just get used to doing it. Get used to doing it by the clarity of your message, whether that's on your social media, the clarity of your message when you go to networking events, being clear on what the outcomes are that you're looking for. And you just want to keep working at this from the outset in your business, on whether you're talking to many or whether you're having one-to-ones. Because if you just work on this, then there isn't going to be any doubt when you link up with a partner about what's she expecting, what are the expectations here, what outcomes are we going for, and when there's a problem, and as in all human relationships, there's bound to be some kind of something that needs sorting out along the way. You're confident and you're assertive in the way that you can address whatever that thing is, and you can communicate clearly on you're not understanding something, or how you think that whatever it is has gone wrong, needs to be sorted out. So in other words, don't let things go unsaid. In that way, you can kind of always ensure with a partner that there's congruency with what you're doing. Um, and also, you just need awareness of how things change. And I'm sure everyone meets other people in business and they pivot a little bit, they kind of change their offering, they decide maybe they're up to capacity in a particular year or they're working on something else in their business. So you can have those conversations about change as well. Because in the end, if you build a successful partnership with somebody, say in 2024, um, you want that relationship to endure, not just, well, we've done that once and that's the end of it. You want to be thinking, well, when can we do another collaboration? When can we roll out another event? So to do that, you have to communicate regularly and with clarity and clearly expressing maybe changes that have happened in your business. So conversation when networking, keep practicing with the one-to-ones and keep being aware, how clear is it to other people what I'm saying? You can even ask that question, and just being aware that with communication, like other things, practice hopefully makes perfect.
Brilliant.
Those are my 3 habits.
Brilliant. It's all about communication and engagement, really, isn't it? If you want to have a great
Yeah.
life, great relationships, it's about engaging, and it is about being clear with what you're saying.
Yeah.
You mentioned about not saying the thing rather than, letting things go unsaid. And that can be a very tricky one for people, can't it? Because lots of people don't want to upset anybody. So it's really important that the language, I guess, you use in that communication to say that something's not working is really effective. Any advice around that, Lisa?
Well, I suppose you're seeking confirmation, or you're seeking to ask them, do I understand this correctly? Or you're addressing something which you think might not be happening. For instance, before an event, you'll be sending out an email sequence, and you'll be wanting to address, this is what we're doing, isn't it? So showing confidence in the relationship, in the partnership, but at the same time, yeah, let's always confirm everything. Let's always make sure we're not just assuming something's going to happen. But if we just get into a regular habit of confirming what's happening and then confirming when it has happened. So you're thinking about not just follow up, but follow through, and doing that in the way that you communicate. And I think if you keep doing that, without allowing other things to get in the way, then hopefully you keep your relationship with your partner on the straight and narrow and ready for success.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask you a question about email lists. Actually, I've got an email list. I'm not sure that my email list is really, I'm really using it effectively, and I would like more engagement. Would you say, how often would you say, as a minimum, perhaps, in your experience, we should be sending out emails to our list? Have you got any thoughts about that, Lisa?
I think so many people do this so many different ways. I mean, there are some people who be going for a once a month, let's just do that once a month. And there's other people that are hitting your inboxes every day. So again, it'd be interesting to know what your audience thinks and what they want, and maybe how many new things you've got to tell them. Because I've got one client, for example, and their whole mission is they want to get people into their business because they want to give their clients more value. So they're not necessarily interested in cross promotions with partners, but they deliberately want to bring people in for more value. So, say twice a month, if they're aiming to do that, then, they're emailing about something that they think is valuable to their list. So I suppose it's got to be something that's worthwhile. So how many valuable things have you got to say to your audience that is of interest to them, not just something deliberately to clog up their box, their
Yeah,
inbox?
I must
Yeah.
admit that when I get emails every day, in the end I just switch off. It really, really annoys me.
Yeah,
But I
it's
suppose everyone's
annoying.
different, and I suppose there are some people who obviously, because I know that can be successful, some people that are doing that every day and people love it. And I guess if that's what you want to do, and some of your audience love that, then you'll keep attracting the people who, or you'll keep that retention of people who do want those once a day or emails, won't you? They'll just slip off your list if if they're annoyed or
Yeah, they know they just press that unsubscribe button,
yeah.
yes, and come off your list. I suppose that there's the other side of it. If you're suddenly putting on an event and your list gets 3 emails in 1 week, and this is just isn't normal. They suddenly know, wow, something's happening here. So
A good thing then.
yeah, so it just breaks them out of the routine of yeah.
Brilliant.
So I think again, depending on the audience, depending on how many offerings you've got for them. In the end, you don't want to be wasting their time, do you, through
All
sending
your
something
own.
about nothing?
All your
You
own.
know. Yes.
Brilliant, Lisa.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So, for those of you watching or listening, if you've been really inspired by what Lisa's got to say, then check out her links. They'll be below this video, as will mine, and do get in touch with her and find out what she's up to. So, Lisa, thank you ever so much for those brilliant habits, and thank you everyone else for watching.
Thank you, Julie.